My goal on making Chicago the new media capital of the world is that we could stake that claim and start to shout it from the rooftops and defend it more than anything else. So I think the truth about it is that I'm not saying, well, let me tell you, here's these 10 pieces of evidence for why Chicago's the new media capital. I'm simply making a declaration and asking people to join me in that declaration. And people have made that, they've joined me in droves.
The vision is to make Chicago the leader of new media globally, to make this a center of excellence in this field of digital and new media. And I think people from today will say, you know what, this is possible. I'm starting to see pieces of it, and better yet, I see a piece where I fit in that picture. And that's what we want people to walk away with, is there's a place for me in new media, and I'm going to fill in the dots and be part of this exciting thing to develop as it moves forward.
New media, to me, is about convergence. It's about a lot of different forms of media coming together. You have your TV screen, you have your phone, you have feature films, you have your computer, and they really are all starting to sort of replicate each other in very interesting ways.
What we have is a lot of competing industries in Chicago. If we all got together, we all collaborated our resources, what John believes and what we all believe with his leadership is that is what will transform the world.
First of all, the Chicago New Media Summit is dedicated to pioneering Chicago as a new media capital. With the excitement of the Olympic bid and Chicago's rich history in advertising, theater, music, and film, the time is right to shine a global spotlight on our city.
What I'm looking at getting out tonight is launching this summit that we're doing in the fall, really launching people's excitement about it, people's knowledge about it, people being inspired by it, that they walk out of here tonight, and I walk out of here tonight being so excited about the future.
My question to you to sort of open it up, and I'd like to start with you, Marshall. What's so special about Chicago? Why can Chicago step in and be the leadership center of new media when it can happen anywhere? Or do you think it will happen here?
Well, I think it can happen here. I think it's not a given. I think it's not an organic right. But I think there's a couple things that really work in our favor. One, I'll quote one of my favorite people on earth. I don't know him personally, but Martin Scorsese, who loves to film here and says that Chicago is the country's most American city.
I think one of the most impressive things about tonight was the tremendous job that John Patterson did in putting it together. I mean, to put something like this together in less than 9 weeks, the tremendous turnout, it really shows that there's a thirst for what he's trying to do. And this is the right time to do this in the wake of everything that's happened in the last couple of days, with the hope of the Olympics on the horizon. Now is the time. Chicago is the place.
Jason?
Well, I think Chicago's the best city in the world. So that seems like we have a pretty good shot at doing some great things here. The thing that's great about this town is that people get things done here, you know? On the West Coast, people talk about stuff. On the East Coast, I don't know what they do. They get stuff done there too, but it's mainly financial stuff. In Chicago, people love getting things done. You know, people like to actually work here. It's not about building something to sell. It's not about building something to flip. It's about building something sustainable. And I think that's what's great about this town. I think the people here are great, and the people here, we have all the talent we need to really have a pretty big impact.
It feels wonderful for me to be involved with something that goes from the point of imagination to demonstration. This is what we talked about. We knew we had something because it resonated with all of us. And when we started to do the social networking and we started to see the numbers of people who thought that this was something they wanted to connect with too, then we knew we had something.
You know, innovation to me is figuring out how everybody in this room can do something, knows their stuff, and can make my stuff do something it's not currently doing. That's what I want to see happen in Chicago, and that's the spirit of what this New Media Summit is all about.
I think the energy and the excitement that we had came across. I feel like that was communicated, and I feel like people truly bought into this vision. And I think that, I don't have any doubt that we're doing it. I mean, we're doing it right now.
What we're on the verge of is so exciting financially, creatively. I mean, just you're putting together the arts, big business, industry, out-of-the-box thinkers, design. I mean, everything is just getting mushed into one fantastic, I don't know, it's like a goulash of creativity. I mean, what more can you say?
Chicago has such a rich history as a formulative city for radio and television. It's logical, in my view, that new media gravitates to Chicago and emanates from here.
I have never argued for limitations. I think anything can be possible, anything can happen, and tonight was a demonstration of it.
This is phenomenal, and I'm just so excited that we were able to really feel that there was time for this thing. And it was a special time for Chicago to take advantage of this time. And I think tonight proved that out.